I love doing this. It's a brilliant way to really elevate the humble aubergine to the next level, right? And what I'm gonna give you is a method where we actually tenderize the aubergine, make it creamy on the inside, crispy on the outside with the Parmesan, so good. And then I'm gonna serve that with a sweet tomato, basil and garlic sauce, simple pasta, bit of Parmesan, happy days. So look, it's a really quick one to do, and it's a really fun process. So first of all, what we need to do is get the aubergine sliced up into 4 1 centimetre slices. Literally just shave the end off the black skin to expose the white flesh. Do the same on the other side. And then what we want to do is cut it in half. Now, I leave the stalk on because it really helps to hold the whole thing together. Now, once you've got it in half, again, exactly the same, put the knife in between, gently cut down, through to the stalk again, all the way through. So what we have here, essentially, is like 4 escallops of aubergine. So first of all, what we need to do is draw out the moisture. Now, it's gonna look like I'm gonna over-salt it, but I will be taking half of this salt off. But this salt is really important for this tenderization, right? So we're gonna put some of this aubergine on the salt here, like that. And that will start to bring the moisture out of the aubergine. It actually starts to change the texture, right? And we can actually treat it like meat, and we can start to tenderize that. And if you use like a regular meat bat, or even your fist, what you can do is start pounding, and you'll start to completely change the texture. By doing this, you're gonna get a creamy inside, and by cooking it the way I'm gonna cook it, it's gonna be really crispy on the outside. So simply flip that over, and then we'll do the other side. So already, this kind of feels completely different. And that's just from a little bit of time with salt and a little bit of tenderization. And then all I do now is get a bit of kitchen paper and just dab off that sort of salty juice, like that. So next up, breadcrumbs. What I'm gonna do is take this lovely vegetable and make it really, really crunchy. So I've got 2 free-range eggs, whisked up till they're nice and loose. Now let's talk about the breadcrumbs. I love to try and get the rosemary focaccia. Why? Because it's white, it's crunchy, but also the rosemary and garlic in this will give your breadcrumbs extra flavour, but with 1 ingredient. Of course, you can use whatever bread you want, but the more exciting your bread is, the more exciting the flavour will be on the outside of your aubergine, right? So 100 grams of bread I want, and just whack that straight into a food processor, like that. What I quite like is it's kind of got a little bit of substance to it. Look at that. It's bouncy, there's some chunks in there. You can see the little bits of rosemary as well. So, now we're gonna take our lovely aubergine, just like you would if it was a cut of meat. Season it up with a little pepper, like that. And then into the egg. That's kind of like your binding. That's your glue. Can you see the difference in the texture, right? If you'd have just cut the aubergine, it would never do that. It would actually break. Shake the plate of breadcrumbs here. Let the excess come off, then put it onto the breadcrumbs and then use your other hand, otherwise it will get sticky, to cover it. Pat it down, bit of pressure, and then a little shake. But that, my friends, is a beautiful breadcrumbed aubergine. So 1 down, 3 to go. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got those 4 done. So now get a large non-stick pan on a high heat. A nice swig of oil goes in there. And then I'm just gonna lay our lovely breadcrumbed aubergine into that oil and start to fry it. I wanna get it lightly golden, so about 2 minutes each side. Now, look, the great thing about this recipe is traditionally, of course, it will be veal, right? Or chicken, or pork sometimes. And bigging up the veg, I think, is a really nice thing to do. So let's just have a little look at this first one that went in. Look, that's lovely. So flip that over. Look at that. Nice and sizzly. That black, really nice and crispy too. Look at that, golden, crisp and delicious. And I've experimented doing the same preparation with slices of butternut squash, beautiful pumpkin, amazing, courgettes, or even a mixture of different ones. And I think it's just a brilliant way to enjoy veg, but we should all be enjoying more veg, right? So get yourself some Parmesan, and this is when things get even tastier. Garlic, rosemary, breadcrumbs. Now, a little Parmesan is going to be good. Get a fine grater and just kind of do long strokes on a baking tray. So that's like the welcoming party to our lovely aubergines. So have a little look at these. Oh, yes. That is beautiful. That's going to be so tasty. Look at that. Here we go. And then as it's all sizzling and gorgeous, then we go over with some more long strokes of Parmesan, and this will just become one. This will just melt into the aubergine. So at this stage, this beautiful thing goes in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for about 10 minutes. And actually, 10 minutes is a pretty good number because I've got some spaghetti here and it says cooked for 10 minutes. We'll boil that up. At the same time, we're going to make the simplest, quickest tomato sauce ever. So first up, tinned tomatoes. There's plum tomatoes, great. Chopped tomatoes, passatas. Use whatever you like. But in the world of tinned tomatoes, there's actually cherry tinned tomatoes. And they're bloomin' delicious. And I've only really found them in the supermarkets in the last couple of years. So look out for these lovely little cherry tomatoes, right? Because they're gorgeous, they're sweet, and they're picked at their very best. So in a pan, we go with a little olive oil, and then a couple of cloves of garlic. Just run your knife through it. Easy peasy, right? Get that into the oil. We want this to be sweet, so don't get too much colour on that. Not always, but sometimes I'll put a little bit of chilli in there. I want it to be very mild. The kids are going to have it. So I'll take the end off, half it, and I'll take the seeds out, right? And then I'll put that whole chilli in, and then I can take it out later. But it's going to give this tomato sauce a hum. It won't be hot, it won't be spicy. So in we go. And then as soon as there's a little bit of colour on the lovely garlic, then we'll break the frying and go to boiling these beautiful cherry tomatoes. All you need to do is bring those cherry tomatoes up to the boil. We'll season it with a little pepper and some salt. And then some basil, about half a bunch. Just tear it up. And now we have a beautiful, delicious, fast, gorgeous tomato sauce. Put that on low. Pasta's got a few more minutes to go. Right, 10 minutes is up. Let's have a little look here. Look at that. You can see it sizzling away. That's going to give you the most amazing texture. So look, let that cool down. If you look in the pan here, see how it's just been on a very low heat, just drying up, right? What you've done is concentrate flavour. So now what we can do is take our lovely pasta and let the excess water rehydrate this. So cook that pasta nice and al dente, and then let it kind of do that last bit of cooking in the tomato sauce. So the pasta and the sauce kind of become one. Simple stuff, but so good. Look at that. I just love it. Extra splash of water. Get that consistency right. If you want to put a little Parmesan in the pasta, absolutely you can. It's just joyful. Right, let's plate up. Grab half of that pasta and just let it kind of hang, right? And then just let it just kind of drape across the plate. Bosh. A few bits of the lovely cherry tomato on top. They're so soft and tender. Get a little slice under the aubergine. You can see how crispy that's gone. And just lay it over the top. And I just love it. It's like the simplest sauce, but it just feels special. A few little baby basil leaves, and maybe one last little kiss of Parmesan if you want. But that's it. Job's done. Aubergine Milanese, simple pasta, and then the simplest, quickest little sweet tomato sauce. Let's have a go, come on. Let's get in there. So what I want from the aubergine is crisp on the outside and really buttery tenderness on the inside. Let's just go for a bit of aube first. Look at that. For me, it's all about taking the everyday aubergine and just elevating it to the next level. I love it. Absolutely delicious. because you've got that beautiful crunch. And then the inside of the aubergine is so buttery and silky. It's got texture, it's got deep flavour. This dish makes me happy. If you've never enjoyed aubergine cooked like this, you've got to try it. Beautiful, mouthful, deliciousness. Right, so I've got all my beautiful cos lettuce leaves, and what I want to do is I'm going to do a Caesar salad, and I'm adapting it, and I'm doing my version. And my version is all about maximum flavour. Chicken legs. I ain't interested in no breasts, right? I'm interested in the legs. You can tell when a chicken's good when you just literally pinch it, and if it comes off like that, happy days, yeah? So, sticky, crispy, and lovely. But the trick was, I bashed up a load of rosemary, bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, rubbed it over the chicken, and put it on top of some ripped up bread. So what happens is, as the juices and the fat cooks out of the chicken, it cooks into the bread. Got all that chicken goodness, all that. You know when you roast a chicken, you get all that sticky marmite goodness in the bottom that you make your gravy out of? Right, that is in my bread. So ultimate, you know, croutons. I haven't diced it up because, you know, because I've got a life really. I've just torn it up. I think it looks much, much more rustic. The other ingredient is smoked bacon or pancetta. It's top drawer. And you can literally just lay it again over the chicken, and we're going to put it in just until golden. So that's going to go back in the oven. And I think the original geezer didn't put anchovies in it. I prefer anchovies. Get yourself some nice, good anchovies. If you don't like anchovies, don't put them in. But, you know, by the time I finish with it, you won't taste it. It's just going to give you, you know, a beautiful sort of salty seasoning. I'd use pestle and mortar. You could do it in a liquidizer or a processor if you wanted to. About 2 or 3, you know, for sort of 6 people. You can use a little bit of this oil. It's generally just olive oil, so not the really good quality olive oil, but no point in wasting it. And garlic. I think go pretty easy on the garlic. Half a clove, maybe even a quarter of a clove. Otherwise it's going to be hot. You know how garlic can be really hot. So that's probably fine, actually. And I'm just going to smash this up to a pulp, to a mush. And I'm going to put a little bit of creme fraiche, little spoon like this. Not loads, just I want to make it creamy. I don't know. I think it's quite nice, okay, to put it in. What does it give? I just think it sort of like sticks to the leaves sort of slightly nicer, and adds to the flavour of the whole thing. I want a good lemon, but you could use really good quality vinegar, and Parmesan. So, finely grate like a little handful of Parmesan, and you're going to adjust this Parmesan with the oil and with the lemon juice. This is the whole thing about dressings. If your dressing ain't good to start with, well, it won't be good when you put it on the salad leaves. So, you know, if we're, you know, it's all about sort of blending it, really. There we go. Right, so that's looking pretty good. So it's like a dry slop now. Lemon juice. So olive oil. Again, 3 parts olive oil to 1 part lemon juice. I'm not going to season it with salt yet because we got the anchovies in there and we got the Parmesan. And I think that's pretty good, actually. You want that balance of like the hum of garlic, the roundness of the Parmesan and the oil, but you want that cut of the lemon or the vinegar. It's got to cut through a bit, yeah? So, here we go. In this bowl, I'm going to do Caesar salad, modern day style. I'm going to just tear it up. You know, I'm going to leave the smaller leaves whole. Now let's check my chicken. But you can just see how I can tear this chicken. You don't have to do it any particular sort of neat way. Just get that lovely meat off the bone, sort of shred it. And all I'm going to do is just sort of run my knife through it just a few times. Delicious. And then the croutons, you can kind of just roughly chop up or snap at with your fingers if you want. And for this particular one, The skin's really crispy. It can go in warm, so it's essentially even a warm salad now. And just enough. Don't want it to be ultra heavy. Dressing it just like we did all the other things. Let's have some more breadcrumbs because that is delicious. Snap them up. Put it like that. Finish with a few bits of nice parmesan. And when you've got someone important coming round, bird, boyfriend, mother-in-law, whatever, everyone's always sort of racing to do like flash stuff. Do a Caesar salad, but make it the best one they've ever tasted. Make that chicken delicious and sticky and crispy skinned. Make the breadcrumbs and the dressing just punch around the face. Delicious. So me and Buddy are going to show you a little Oliver secret that we do every now and again. It's like a nice little video night, cheats dessert, taking chocolate bars that you probably love already and embellishing it around balls of gorgeous vanilla ice cream. Now, this is about fantasy. Look how excited he is. Get yourself any of your kind of favourite chocolates that you love. If you pop them in the fridge, then put them in a clean tea towel, like this, and then we can bash them up. Empty out that dust of your chosen chocolate bar. Give it a little shake, and then take a lovely ball of ice cream. I've just used a little bit of hot water to heat up the spoon. And then take a couple of little teaspoons, just roll it around.
Put fruit on it.
What fruit would you like?
Raspberries.
So raspberries go in here. Your favourite chocolate bar, bashed up and dusted around a ball of your favourite ice cream, on some fruit if you want to be like Buddy. Little spoon inside, happy days. If you want to dress it up even more, you can take a little bar of chocolate, take a knife or a palette knife, and just drag it towards you like that. It's a little trick that you can use to make the everyday fantastical.
Exciting.
So you tuck in now, son.
Thank you.
So you could do that with any bar. You can take nuts like almonds, hazelnuts. Just use your imagination. One of the most trendy things to do at the moment, wait for it, you're gonna laugh and you'll take the mickey out of me. Very good extra virgin olive oil. Also, a little sea salt. And that, by the way, is what everyone says. Bonkers. But amazing.
That looks disgusting.
You wanna try some?
No.
You can't please everyone.
Maybe for adults.
Anyway, have fun with it, combo up, texture up, and make the everyday a bit more exciting. All right, bud. Next, do one for your mum.
Okay.
What things does she love?
Healthy stuff.
Now, who's going to do the washing up, buds?
Not me.
I think you are. What up, food tubers? Hope you're well. Jamie Oliver here. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make the perfect frittata. Frittata being the Italian-style omelette. It's quick, it's delicious. Let me show you how to do it. So we're going to start off with the eggs. So just crack in the eggs. I've got 6 eggs gone in there. 3 eggs per person is more than enough. A basic pinch of salt and pepper is always good. Give it a little whip up. Some people like to whip it well. Some people like to just sort of break it up so you kind of get little kind of streaks of lovely kind of red yolks and sort of the whites as well. Let's talk about flavour. Now, like an omelette, like a pizza, like risotto, you can do any flavour you want. I'm just going to smash up peas and broad beans to make like a kind of pesto, sort of pesto. Call it a pesto. Pesto. Broad bean stow don't work. I'm going to put a little pinch of salt in there and I'm just going to smash that up. I want to get some mint into the story. This is going to be super, super tasty. You'll see I'm just lightly smashing up the peas. Lemon zest has to be in there. Some lemon juice, just to set off the flavours to me. Damn right, delicious. Half a lemon goes straight in there. You want to add about 2 tablespoons of good extra virgin olive oil. So I'm just going to take a little bit of parmesan, or put a bit of sort of salty fatness in there. Yum. Happy with that. I've got my asparagus tips here. I'll just cut those in half. I'm going to put a little oil into the pan. Often I use a little knob of butter, but but I haven't got any, so not today. I'm just gonna fry those asparagus for a second. The eggs here, what I'm gonna do is put a little spoon into my mix, like that, just to kind of get that whipped into it. Get that, look how it just turns the eggs a kind of nice sort of green colour, which is kind of, I like. Go straight in with the eggs, get it all out. I'm then gonna go in with little blobs of my beautiful peas, and just for like 35 seconds, while the frittata is starting to set, you know, just sort of put these bombs in. You can see the eggs starting to firm up, but this is the great kind of thing. You can come home, start it, finish it, 10 minutes. See how it's almost cooking like an omelette? When you kind of see those little sheets, that does give it a sort of cute little internal sort of texture, which is nice. I'm gonna go around the edge. Just a little bit of feta and a little bit of Parmesan. And that will cook a treat. I'm gonna put it into the top of the oven. It's quite nice to get a bit of colour. You know, you can undercook it and have it, well, you can just cook it, but really most frittatas that I've eaten around Italy, and I've had a lot, are kind of cooked through. Whack it in the oven, cook it until it's kind of cooked through and a little bit golden on top. While that's cooking, I'm gonna put a really simple basic salad together with some pea shoots, some rocket, raw peas, which I love in salads. You can nick a few tomatoes if you want. Beautiful. The other half of the lemon, little seasoning, little olive oil. Very nice, very simple little salad. Come with me. You can see, if you have a look in there, see how the frittata has doubled in size. Let's take that out, have a little look at it. Turn the oven off. Look at that. But just get in there and just push it out like that. Have fun with it. There you go, my friends. That is a beautiful frittata, super quick. I hope you enjoy it. Lots of love. From Mr. O dish, we're gonna do a beautiful mushroom cannelloni with a gorgeous, oozy, cheesy sauce. If you've got someone in your house that completely disagrees with any kind of meat-free day, this recipe is probably quite a good one to get them on, because if this is made right, they probably wouldn't even notice the difference, right? Because this has the depths of flavour that you'd get from a lovely cannelloni. The residual moisture in these greens will just steam and wilt. This will take like 30, 40 seconds. That can then go in the bottom of our tray. Just a little kiss of salt. Right, that's the beginning of the story. Let's get on to business. So in this pan, I want to cook down leeks, which I love, and onions. Olive oil. We'll go straight in with the onions. And then as I prep each vegetable, just add it to the story. So a little bit of pepper. I've got some garlic. Just finely slice it up. Right, let's get on to leeks. Just slice up the white part straight in there. With the greener stuff, I tend to chop this up finer anyway, just to help it cook. And then we're gonna add the mushrooms. Right, big boy, we're making cannelloni. Give it a little seasoning with salt and pepper. If you wanna make this extraordinary, just 15 minutes of stirring and frying will be amazing.
Yes.
Go and find your mad brother.
Okay.
Stuffing's done. So chop that up, and then it just feels so homemade, and you get more texture. If you lay it out flat, let that cool down. Let me make a really simple white sauce. In the same pan that we made the mushrooms, go in with 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 tablespoons also of plain flour. You don't have to make it with butter. Classically, yes, but in real life, no. Olive oil's fine. Looks a bit like breadcrumbs, but this is a thickening agent. In there, we're gonna add some milk. I'm just gonna add it slowly, slowly. That's quite a rushed version. That's what I always do at home. You know, I've got a family here to feed. There's stuff going on. So look, as the white sauce does its magic, let's fill these cannellonis. So literally all I do is stab around like that and then turn it around, do the other half. It's as simple as that. And that is your beautiful mushroom stuffed cannelloni. Okay, so look, there we go. a tray full of beautiful cannelloni. Off the heat now, because I'm very happy with that consistency, and put a nice big handful of grated cheese in there. I'm using cheddar, a nice big handful goes in. So let's get that over the top here. Look how oozy it is, yeah. And you can see the chunks of leftover mushroom in there. Last but not least, just a few little slices, kind of in and around, and then just a little drizzle of oil. So this will go in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 to 45 minutes until golden, blipping and delicious. I can hear it sizzling. So it's at about 40 minutes. The wood oven's just a little bit hotter. Look at that, come on. This kind of cooking is all about family. Look at the crispy bits. Yes. And then of course we added that lovely stack of greens. It's got to be one of the best meat-free meals ever, whether you're vegetarian or not. Right, let's get amongst it. So good. Oh yeah. Kids, lunch! I'm going to share with you the most delicious homemade falafel recipe. It's quick, it's easy, it's full of flavour and texture, and to go with that, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of different sauces, pickles and garnishes that make it exceptional, but most importantly, you can use each and every one of these recipes in so many different ways in your own cooking. So, let's get going. Let's start off with a food processor. I've got 2 tins of chickpeas. Open the tin, and we're going to get rid of the water, like that, in a sink. So go in with your drained chickpeas. Then plain flour, 1 tablespoon. Harissa paste, 1 tablespoon goes in. 1 teaspoon of allspice. A generous pinch of salt and pepper goes in. So I've got 1 regular bunch of coriander here. I'm gonna take the stalks that a lot of people waste. We ain't wasting them, right? They've been washed, they go in. That's gonna give it a sweetness and a beautiful perfume. I've got a nice lemon that I've washed, and just give the skin, just the yellow part, a little rub like that. And I want these falafels to be like light, but full of attitude. So lid on, give it a little pulse. Get a little spatula and go around the rim. You can see that ball going around the side now, so it's telling you that it's actually a really good kind of patty-like consistency. This ball here, I'll roll into about 16 little patties, so I want to get them golden and crisp, and I want to bring out the flavour in all those spices. Falafels are an ultimate, really nutritious and really affordable street food. Roughly chop these into 16-ish, roughly the same size patties. If you get a little bowl of water, they help keep the patties or meatballs nice and smooth instead of kind of breaking. So just wet your hands like this, like that, and then we'll just roll it into a nice little patty like that and just press it down about 2 inches in diameter. I'm going to put it onto a medium heat, and I want a nice lug of olive oil, and I'll lay that falafel straight into there like that. Bit of water. So roll it first, pat it next. It's as simple as that. Roll it, pat it, lay it. We'll keep them small so we can manage this. You'll make filling for 4 generous pitters. So while those falafels cook for about 3 minutes on each side, I've got them on a medium-low heat. I'm not rushing them. I want to show you different expressions of dips, garnishes, and sauces. First up, beautiful organic yogurt. I'm going to take this other half of the coriander and just finely chop it. You could use a pestle and mortar if you want. Beautiful. So I'll take a bit of garlic. I'll go back to this grater here, and I'll just grate half a garlic, like that. And that will be more than enough to make it pungent and delicious. We'll take a little pepper here. We'll take the coriander and the garlic here. The lemon that I took the zest from. So what I don't want this to be is boring. Okay, so first sauce is done. So I've got a standard red cabbage, white cabbage, it doesn't matter. I'll use a little speed peeler, and you'll just get the most wonderful pickle of red cabbage, lovely antioxidants, super healthy, but most importantly, utterly delicious. A pinch of sea salt, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. Get a little splurge of that in there. Just use your hand. So scrunch, scrunch. I'm gonna take a nice little handful there. Joy, joy, joy. All right? Let's check this, just gonna make sure we're taking care of things. Now, look, this is looking pretty good. Look at this, beautiful. Yes, smells amazing. Here's a quickie, and it's a funny, fruity little number. Tahini, a nice couple of spoons goes in. I'll show you a little funky, crazy thing. If I put lemon juice in that to make a little tahini sauce, delicious by the way, it affects the tahini and makes it go super hard. It's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. So from a flavour point of view, delicious, especially with a little pinch of salt, right, to convince it that it's savoury. If it goes too thick, just add a little bit of hot water and you can thin it down until it's nice and spoonable, and that's what we want. And if you want to give that a little hit of chilli, you can. Tahini sauce, done. A really quick little number that I love is taking some chilies and just finely slicing them, and a little swig of vinegar and a little salt. Chilies go in. What I'm thinking here is texture, flavour, like sprinkles, garnishes. So last but not least, I want to show you a very quick cucumber and mint salad. Use any cucumbers you can get your hands on. These are the lovely small ones, which I love. Get a fork and scratch that cucumber like that. This allows seasoning and dressings to get in there. And all I do is put the 3 cucumbers together, slice it up, mix it up into your bowl, and then I just grab the stalks like that, twist it off, just the leaves, finely slice this, and I'll just dress it like a salad. I'll leave it quite chunky. Vinegar, but then the same amount of olive oil, so it's dressed but still tangy. Use the tips of your finger to dress this salad. So look, let's have a quick wipe down, and these will be ready. So in the 6 minutes it's taken to cook these lovely falafels, right? We've done beautiful, simple salads, sauces, pickles, little garnishes, sprinkles. Love that. One last thing that you can do if you've got a gas hob is just reheat your pittas. You can put them in the toaster, you can put them in the oven, you can have it cold, but I quite like putting them onto a little gas hob like this. Just take care of it. Get a little set of tongs like this and just have a little eye on it like that. Turn it over and we'll just toast them up. Get them nice and warm, fluffy on the inside and a little bit sort of crispy on the outside. Okay, so pittas are toasted. Falafels are done. Come and have a look. Look how lovely and sizzly they are. Gorgeous. Okay, let's do one. So I'm gonna get the knife in, open up the lovely pitta. You can fully open it. I'm gonna go in first with that lovely yogurt with the mint. We're gonna go in with a few cucumbers in and around the edge. I'm trying to create like the perfect mouthful. And then a little bit of that lovely pickle. Look at the colours. Yes! Look at that. There's one. Sizzling away. And then another, mate. Then we'll take that lovely sauce. Come on, Eileen, look at that. Just go OTT. We've got the mint leaves here. Be bold, be big. The chilies. And you've got that nice hot pitta. A little bit of oil on top. And then straight on top. Look, I mean, just look at that. That is a picture. Put this on top, and then you put the weight of your body on it. Push it down. I might just cut it in half, just so you can see what's going on in this story. That's what's going on. Gorgeous, decadent. That is full of flavour, full of life, full of nutrition. So guys, if you want the full recipe, and all the shopping lists, simply go to jamieoliver.com, where we've got thousands and thousands of recipes, and we're always updating it for free with love from me to you. I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious super veg salad. So let's do it. We're starting off here with a butternut squash. When you're going to cut this in half, get the tip of the knife in this end, put it down and cut through. We just swap this around, grab it again, and see the little line there? We'll join that back up and we'll go down to the base and we'll split it. And there we have it. And we're gonna roast this in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius. And in that time, it will soften up and it will become really sweet and delicious and nutty. And it will look a little bit like this. The oven has earned you delicious flavour. It's shrunk a little bit, it's soft now, even the seeds are like little delicious peanuts. Next, we're gonna get more good stuff into the story. So we're gonna use these gorgeous little tender stem broccoli, are pretty delicate. So what you can do is just trim the ends off. If they're a bit on the chunky side, just split it down the middle, happy days. So spring onions, and then those little roots at the end, I just trim those off. The next part of our amazing salad is some croutons. Now you can use any bread you like. So I'm gonna cut this bread in half, about 200 grams, and then I wanna dice it up into sort of inch-sized chunks. Rough and ready, don't stress about anything. And then with the broccoli here, and just a little kiss of olive oil. What I wanna do now is just massage this up, all the croutons as well, and then we can sprinkle that onto the squash. So what this is gonna do in the oven is char up and catch and tenderize the broccoli and the spring onions. This is gonna be amazing. So guys, look at that, right? We're gonna put that back in the oven for about 15, 20 minutes until the broccoli is charred but tender and delicious. So that is a time to clean down, and then I'll show you how to make the most amazing dressing. So instead of the standard dressing, let's use the beautiful avocado. Take the end off, then carefully just put your knife in and run it around like that, very delicately. Once you've done that and the lines have joined up, then you can simply just tweak it like that and out it comes. Now, obviously you need a nice ripe avocado for this. So get your knife and give it a tap and then simply tweak it out, happy days. To get that out, just give the tip of the knife a little tap and off it comes. We're gonna use a liquidizer, and what I wanna do is squeeze that beautiful green creamy flesh out of the avocado, every last bit of it. So just add about 100 mils of water, tablespoons of nice extra virgin olive oil, and then I love using lemon juice. Just put your hands over like that and squeeze it into your hands, and if there's any pips, you can catch those. It smells amazing. Now, I've got a bit of basil here, just a couple of leaves, gives you a nice little kind of infusion of flavour, but that's optional. And then simply whiz it up. So unbelievably simple. The colour is absolutely tremendous. And that, kissing all those lovely veggies, is gonna be incredible. Now the last bit before I finish off the salad that really embellishes this to make it super, super exciting for texture and flavour is some nuts. They're super nutritious. These ones are salted and smoked. Get a pestle and mortar. All I do with these is basically smash them up and turn it into the most incredible garnish. We are ready and raring to serve up. So look, have a look at this. Gorgeous. Can you see the broccoli? See how it's tender, super, super soft here, but then it's charred nicely here. That's mega flavour. So let's make this really, really exciting. So first up, a little spinach, super nutritious. The croutons are looking really, really nice. And we've got that amazing squash. Get a spoon and literally like that, can you see? Look at the colour. Steamy, sweet, nutty gorgeousness. Oh, it smells amazing. And just let it be nice and rustic, super simple. Get this amazing dressing, just spoon on top. Look at that. So we get the seeds in there as well. And then last but not least, those amazing smoky smashed up almonds. So there you go, guys. That is a salad, but not as you know it. Nutritious, exciting, fun. Let's have a taste, come on. Enough yapping. That's delicious. The squash is nutty and sweet, and then it's soft, so you get that kind of crunch of the almonds. It's smoky. That is a mouthful of joy. So guys, what are you waiting for? Have a cook up and enjoy. Go on. Sometimes you want a recipe that is so unbelievably simple, where you can just whack it in the oven, let the oven do all the hard work, and then 5 minutes of love and care brings you something that's really delicious and full of life and colour. And I'm going to do the most beautiful warm aubergine salad, and I want to show you how to make a beautiful homemade pesto to dress this whole salad, and particularly the aubergines. Honestly, this is the easiest thing to cook. You just got to understand it. It's one of my favourite vegetables. So what I'm trying to achieve here is a texture that is kind of meaty and moorish and really silky and elegant, and something that can take on flavour. And the great news is I can do that with the easiest method ever. Take 2 aubergines, put them on a tray, whack them in an oven for about 50 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius in a standard oven, right? This wood oven is good to go. Straight in there, let the oven do all the hard work, and we get some salad. So look, I've got some round lettuce, some oak leaf. You know, I've grown these, but the little bags you get from the supermarket, the mixed bags, can be very good these days. For me, the idea of a salad is to be joyful and celebrate the moment, right? So yes, we've got herbs here, we've got basil. And then you've got things like the flowers, nasturtium. So this, if you eat it, is fresh. Then you get pepper, quite a lot of pepper, and then it calms down, and then you get peaches and apricot. This really will help your everyday salad be something beyond spectacular. And even when it comes to things like a courgette, you've got the lovely flowers here, which you can tear off, and they're very polleny and delicious. Very important to not only wash your salad, but give them a good old whip and get rid of all of that water. If you want a nice dressing to stick to your salad leaves, then you want to give them a little dry. All nice and dry, that's ready to go. Right, now let me show you how to make the pesto. Honestly, this is going to be like the best thing ever for this salad. Now, pesto, of course, is a fantastic Italian paste. Actually, pesto meaning paste can be many, many things. Many different cheeses, herbs, nuts. And actually, it's not just the Italians that do it. Many, many countries around the world have their version. So I want to take inspiration from Greece. So lemon. I'm going to take feta. I'm going to take beautiful almonds, honey for sure, olives, you know, very Mediterranean. We're going to take herbs. It could be parsley. I'm going to go for a little bit of mint. All we have to do is bring it together. And the best old-fashioned way to do it is in a pestle and mortar. You could use a food processor, for sure. So get your mint stalk, loosely grab it, pull it off. You could easily use different herbs, basil. You could use parsley with great effect. I'm going mint today. I'm just feeling it with the feta cheese. This is going to be quite a rustic, rough pesto, not super smooth. So I'll take a little handful of almonds. I'm going for unpeeled. You could use pine nuts, you could use pistachios if you want. I'm going to take a lemon, and if you've washed it, you can get a fine grater and just put that zest in there like that. Good. Into here, I'm going to add a tablespoon of beautiful honey. So the sweetness will riff off of the acidity from the lemon. Squeeze the lemon juice out, and I'm kind of putting my hands inside here and just bringing out all of that pulp. I want that in there. And then I can use just a little bit of feta, kind of almost like a seasoning instead of a cheese. And then olive oil. Olive oil will just help you translate all of those flavours into the most beautiful pesto. Last ingredient to go is some olives. I want to add about 8 olives, green and black. And if you want delicious olives, buy the ones with the stones still in them. And you literally just squeeze it and just simply take that seed out. And that way, you'll have the most juicy, fragrant, lovely olive going. So we'll go from the pestle here to a spoon. Oh, wow. That tastes amazing. Wow. Woo! Sweet, sour, salty, full of fragrance. Wowee, that is really good. A little bit more feta just sprinkled on top. And that, my friends, is a good job done. So that is the paste. This will dress the salad leaves and, most importantly, embellish the amazing aubergine. So let's have a look at the aubergine. Now, you know, for an aubergine recipe, we haven't really done much with it, right? All we've done is whack it in the oven. So I'll just cut this in half. Now, if you look inside here, you know, some people say it's like caviar, right? Look at the little seeds. Look how soft and silky this is. So this is what we're going to dress up. Now, if you wanted to remove the skin, you could. I quite like it. It's got a charredness to it that I absolutely adore. Hello, mate.
I got my bike.
You got your bike, okay.
I'm stuck.
Let's do a wheelie. Woo!
Dad.
Right, off you go. Julesy, come and see what I'm doing. So, I'm actually making this for lunch.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love it. Where are you going to eat today? Outside?
Yeah. All right, babe. See you later.
Later.
So look, I know I probably got a bit overexcited, but if you're just using a bag of salad and you're whacking that in the oven for an hour, right, that pesto is the only thing you do, right? That is like 3.5, 4 minutes work. So this is the quickest, most delicious, exciting little lunch, dinner, really, really nice. So let's plate it up. Get your nice bed of salad like that. Then I'm gonna take one of these, see how juicy that is, right? So that's the method of cooking. So simple, yet so good. And that's when you get mega flavour. Flavour that goes on and on and on. Just finish that with a couple of little, you know, mint or basil leaves. Take a tiny little bit of feta and a kiss of olive oil. Look at that. Now, the one thing that I'd like to quickly make to go next to that is the simplest little flatbread, which I think with this is going to be absolutely amazing. Tearing up bread, getting chunks of the aubergine, the pesto, bosh, it's going to be so, so good. Using self-raising flour. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons of flour, like that, heaped. And then we'll do the same of yogurt, right? And we'll bring this together as a dough. If it's a little bit wet, you can add a little flour. If it's a little dry, you can add a little bit more yogurt. So just move it around with your spoon, and when it gets almost too hard, then you can take that out and use your hand. And you basically just don't want it to be sticky. It's a little 2-minute wonder that's so fun, so easy. You know, sometimes you need something good quick, and that's it, my friends. And all I do now is just take a little bit of flour, rub that into a board, like this, and I'll just roll it out. And I haven't actually got a roller, I'll just use my pestle, but anything you want. Nice and thin, use a wine bottle, you know, or a rolling pin. Now, what you can do is embellish this with other beautiful things. So if we just took a little bit of garlic, for instance, and just sliced that up, nice and thinly, we make our version of a garlic bread, right? So let's take a little bit of black pepper. Happy days. Let's take a herb. I think I'm feeling a little bit of thyme. Just put some thyme flowers on there. We can even do a little bit of rosemary. Roll it out so the herbs and garlic become part of the actual bread, and they will cook into one another. Super beautiful. Look at that. I mean, that is a picture. And that's it. And then I will just get it in there like that. There we go. So straight away, that's puffing up. In a normal oven, it would take maybe 4 minutes until golden. The hotter, the better. So there we go. A lovely little flatbread. Now I kiss it with oil. And that is a thing of beauty. Look at that. So good. Let's have a little try. Right. I'm gonna nick a bit without Jules noticing. So look at this. We've got the aubergine there. We've got the pesto. Let's put it on the flatbread. Squash it in. Wow. The beautiful olives. The feta, the nuts. Look at that. It's just a gorgeous little mouthful. Honestly, truly, the texture of the aubergine is so velvety, it's so silky, it feels substantial. And what's really nice is because the aubergine is still warm with the cold salad, you get that contrast. Mmm. Oh, Jules is here. Mm-hmm. Right. Look at that flatbread.
Mmm, it's good.
So, should you go and have this now?
Yeah.
Just have it picnic style.
Mm-hmm.
Properly to share.
Can I take the olives with me?
Yeah, you take the olives. So there you go. Next time you go past those aubergines in the supermarket, give them a little wink. Get them home, get them in the oven for 15 minutes, and make that pesto. Honestly, you won't regret it. Come on, buds. Come on, Jules. Right, let me do you a nice little wodge. You like it, Buds?
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's really nice because it's very summery.
See in the flatbread, look. If you tear it up, see how that little pocket?
Just like a pita.
Yeah. I like putting the little salad in there.
Protein-packed prawns smothered in a punchy marinade, resting on a pile of whole wheat couscous, fruit and veg with capsules of pomegranate providing bursts of sweet joy. This is one sunny celebration of food you won't want to miss out on.
So first up, look at these prawns. We've got 6 of these bad boys.
We're going to add some big flavour with the marinade.
So all I need is 2 sprigs of rosemary. That's all you need. And by the way, rosemary and shellfish, they're not thought of as being like best friends, but I'm telling you, it works an absolute treat. Just give it a good bash up. You know, it's going to help you use less salt because you've got loads more flavour going into your food. Then we're going to hit it up with 2 cloves of garlic, OK?
Garlic is a source of vitamin B6, great for the immune system. Next, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, followed by saffron.
Just a subtle little hit of that is going to give you the most wonderful sort of like barbecue vibe going on. And then a little pinch of saffron. And it gives you the most incredible colour. So that goes in. Now, one thing's for sure is that saffron requires infusion to pull out all of that beautiful flavour. So just a little swig of water. So kind of in essence, we're making a tiny little cup of bonkers tea. So just drizzle in 1 tablespoon of good, healthy, extra virgin olive oil. Look at that. The colour is just amazing. That, my friends, is one hell of a marinade right there. So you could use that on pork, chicken, all sorts of skewers and wonderful things. But this is going to go on our prawns. Now, prawns, inside this beautiful prawn is a little vein that we want to get rid of. Just get some cooking scissors and just cut all the way down the back. It's very simple. It opens up that area and then we can pull out that vein very, very simply. Just like that. And of course it makes it cook quicker, it allows flavour to get in, and also it splays open like a beautiful kind of butterfly prawn.
In longevity hotspots, they tend to choose proteins lower in saturated fats, like seafood. Reducing red meat in your diet will help lower cholesterol and keep your weight down.
Now the prawn is a fantastic source of protein, really, really high in vitamin B12. Now, the reason that's a really important one is because it's great for your nervous system and your immune system, so it's fantastic to get your hit of vitamin B12. We are going to just get our hands in there now. Look at that. That is going to be a joy to cook and to eat.
I'm taking inspiration from our friends in Costa Rica and trying to get more fruit into your life. We might not have the Maranon or the Spanish lime at our disposal, but a good old orange is a fantastic source of vitamin C.
Toss those also in the marinade. It's such a picture. Such a picture. I mean, look at that. Incredible colours. You know it's going to be good. It's going to cook so well together in the pan, or you could even roast it. So, moving on.
While your prawns marinade, pour boiling water over the whole wheat couscous. Cover and set aside for 10 minutes to fluff up.
Next, veggies. This dish is one of the most exceptional ways to effortlessly get your 3 of your 5 a day.
This veg will add nutrients and fibre to the dish. I'm using peppers, courgettes and asparagus, but use whatever's in season. A variety of colours tend to mean a wider variety of vitamins, so don't be afraid to mix things up.
Last but not least, 1 or 2 chilies, depending on how hot they are. Always nice to get a bit of heat going on in there, but subtle heat. We don't want to blow anyone's head off. It's just a nice little hum.
These fiery favourites are super high in vitamin C and also contain anti-inflammatories.
Let's pour that into our bowl. And we now want to flavour all of this with a lovely, simple, clean dressing. It's kind of St. Clement style, oranges and lemons.
Squeeze the juice of 1 orange and 1 lemon over the couscous.
More vitamin C, more goodness. The sweetness of the orange will balance the acidity of the lemon. And you could add olive oil if you wanted to, but this is fat-free. We're not going to go into the olive oil on this particular one.
Add some finely chopped mint and mix it up.
Use a spoon, but I like to use my personal spoons, which are my hands. Get in there. Look at that.
time to cook the marinated prawns and oranges.
Every last bit of juice. We want it all in there. As it cooks, the prawns will start to change colour. Have a little toss around. They won't take very long to cook at all. Move everything around so it has full contact with the pan. Can you see this prawn? Butter flying out? See how it's just opening up as it's cooking? So now we've got nice colour on both. We can kind of toss this around, and that's what we're talking about. Really nice, gnarly prawns.
And the orange slices will now have a lovely, fragrant, caramelised flavour as well.
So let's plate up, guys. I love, by the way, serving this as a share plate, and then we can go around with those amazing prawns. They're so beautiful. The colour's extraordinary. When you do finally squeeze the juice out, that's what we want. Beautiful, sweet, gorgeous, caramelised juiciness. Get all the flavour out of there and pour that over your prawns. Wowzers. Got it all over me. Yeah, the mess has started. You wait till the end of this. It's going to be everywhere. So, we have nearly all the elements of perfection here. We've got our carbohydrates, that lovely whole wheat couscous. We've got amazing protein in the form of those prawns. We've got veggies galore, citrus galore, herbs galore, and to finish off all of those food groups, dairy.
Topped with little dollops of mild, cooling yoghurt, a sprinkling of mint leaves, and finally juicy jewels of pomegranate.
Those little capsules of sweetness. Imagine eating the sort of spicy, saffrony, sort of beautiful prawns and some veg, and then that pop of sweetness from that. I mean, look, it's such an incredible colour. So just grab it, put it between your fingers like that, and from a height, celebrate mess, because the mess is going to start now. Just get it amongst it from a height, and just do a Jackson Pollock, mate. You want to create mess. There you go.
Warmly spiced prawns on a bed of rainbow-flecked couscous, and that all-important vitamin C-rich fruit. And like my Costa Rican friend Huber said, why buy something synthetic when you can eat something so delicious? Not bad, rolling in at 572 calories per portion.
So all we have to do now is eat it. And there ain't no polite way to do this. Right, here we go. More juice over the top. Be prepared for a mess. Head off. Get the shell off. Really delicious flavour. Veggie, couscous. It's a complete celebration of everything that's good for you in one dish. What a joy. What a joy.